And President Obama is set to deliver what's being billed now as a major speech on the Middle East. He is expected to talk about his policy in the troubled region in the wake of bin Laden's death. This amid questions about why the White House has stayed silent on this situation that you see on your screen. Christians coming under fire in Egypt. An attack last week left dozens of Christians dead in that Muslim nation. Critics say that President Obama should condemn the bloodshed. So far, nothing. Judith Miller joins me now. She's senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute and a Fox News contributor. Elise Leone is a business and personal consultant. And Andrea Tantaros is a Daily News columnist and a Fox News contributor. Welcome, ladies, to all of you. Good to have you here. Let me start with you, Judith. What do you make of that? This is the Coptic Christians in Egypt. We all know that there's an election coming up there. The Muslim Brotherhood's very strong in Egypt right now. So wouldn't this be a great moment for the president to speak out about fairness and religious freedom?
The problem with that is that there is an election coming up, and all of our polls show that the Egyptians deeply resent what they perceive to be American meddling in internal Egyptian affairs. So I think the president may be a little hesitant to insert himself into the debate about the relationship between Christians and Muslims in that country. Now, conservatives say that does not excuse his lack of comment. He just doesn't care enough about this issue. There's a third possible explanation, and believe me, the reason I don't know is that the White House has not responded to my questions on this. But the third possible explanation is he doesn't want to undercut the speech he's going to give on this subject next week.
All right, well, that leaves open the possibility that he may address this in the speech. I'm sure a lot of people hope that indeed he will. But Andrea, it also brings to mind what happened in Iran. When there was a lot of outcry to support the rebellious movement in Iran, also that was met with silence from the White House.
Yeah, I think that they're hesitating, angering our so-called allies or even our enemies. They're just sitting quiet. And it's unfortunate, Judith, really, that what's happening is in direct contrast to what our values are in the United States. So I really would hope that the president would stand out and say something and condemn this, any religion that's being persecuted by another religion. But I don't think he wants to upset the Muslims. And to be fair, we saw the persecution of Christians in Iraq when George Bush was president, and he wasn't as quick to come out and condemn it either.
For the same reason?
Yeah, I think so. He doesn't want to, upset or anger our allies.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at,
it's a shame.
When you look at the possibility of what some people see as the most extreme version of Islamic radicalism in the Middle East, it's, the reestablishment of a caliphate across this area. And if you're not going to stand up and support Christians who are being persecuted there, then in some ways you're sort of, allowing that to take another baby step forward, perhaps.
Yeah, I would just say that timing is everything, and we have seen recently with the capture of bin Laden that Obama is pretty good at timing his responses and his execution. So we have this insane need for instant gratification. I think we demand the same thing of Obama in this particular situation in Egypt, but I think we need some more patience. I was raised in an Orthodox Christian church, so I'm as outraged as everybody about this, but I think we need to trust that he's going to respond when it's the right time.
All right, let's move on to the immigration issue, because now there's an indication that the DREAM Act is just a dream at this point, and that it's nothing's going to happen on this side of the election in 2012, Andrea. And then you have the president at the Texas border, talking about what a great job they're doing, and by most estimates, trying to sort of embrace the Hispanic vote again, an area that he has seen some slippage. Anything going to happen on immigration anytime soon?
No, I doubt it. He's just pandering to Hispanics. It's a risky move going to the border because, frankly, he claims that he's done a lot at the border, his administration has, but they really haven't. And if you look at the polls, the #1 issue to Hispanics is the economy. It's not immigration. So, look, I even think Republicans, though, are very apprehensive to take this up. Too, you look back when they brought it up last time, the party was so deeply fractioned, Martha. Remember, yeah, John McCain was for amnesty. Others want the border sealed first. So I think Republicans are saying, we're not going near this in an election anytime soon.
Well, and I think that's, Hispanics are, part of the American fabric, as are all of these other cultures. They, like everyone else, have, people who are in favor of, looser rules regarding immigration. extradition, perhaps some amnesty, and others who believe, you know, I fought the hard way in here and did it legally, and you better do the same too. Is it a mistake, Judith, to sort of treat this group as a, you know, monolithically?
I think this is, Martha, just politics 101. We have an election coming up in 2012, and there is no way that this issue is going to go away because the Democrats and President Obama know that this issue plays for them. This is a great issue for him. He loves lines about what do the Republicans want me to do, build a moat and put alligators in it?
You know, a lot of the, you know, people who agree with him on these issues, Elise, you know, have been very unhappy with the fact that he hasn't dealt with it the way that he promised to do when he was elected. You know, so are they going to be angered by the fact that he's now reluctant once again to do anything till after the election?
Yeah, I think everyone's pretty frustrated with the situation, but I think we're focusing a bit on the wrong thing. It's unemployment. Immigration is certainly broken. That system is broken, but this entrepreneurial visa idea that's been proposed, I think is really compelling. And if we can find an algorithm for getting the best and the brightest entrepreneurs who are already well funded to come here to the States, create new jobs for Americans, and stay, I think it would be good for America.
And real quick, Martha, I think that there's a twofer that the president's hoping to get. If you remember, when immigration was brought up last time, a Democratic base, the unions were upset about it, especially construction workers. They're saying you're taking our jobs. This time around, I think unions' #1 issue right now currently is membership. They want new members.
Great point.
So if they can bring in immigrants, they might come along board.
Absolutely. All right, let's just touch on this Tea Party issue that's going on in upstate New York. It's been sort of a wacky district. You had Christopher Lee, who was the congressman who stepped down. You may remember those pictures of him shirtless and taking pictures of himself, and one of the most bizarre images in politics in recent memory. You know, so now they're replacing that spot, and you've got this. They're duking it out in a parking lot with this evil chuckle and the assaulted cameraman. You know, as far as we know, he's okay. I think we would have heard by now if there was any real bodily injury there. But they're saying that this Tea Party candidate isn't really part of the Tea Party. It's a tough label because they haven't wanted to be a party. So it makes it easy for anybody to sort of glom onto it.
Yeah, this specific guy worked on the campaign when Tom Reynolds was running against him. Is a die-in-the-wool liberal, Jack Davis. He's a perpetual candidate. He's run twice and lost. So he can't win on the Democratic line. So he's a spoiler candidate.
You know what, I'm a Tea Party guy then. We'll
he's
see
a
how that
self-funder.
goes,
He's
right?
got plenty of money, so he's trying to fund himself and pretend like he's a Tea Party candidate. But, you know, we saw this in 2010.
Yeah.
We saw candidates in New Jersey and New York pretending to be Tea Party candidates. Unfortunately, it's legal. I mean, we saw a couple people go to court and then be convicted in Michigan of actually filing fake paperwork to be Tea Party candidates. But this, unfortunately, I think he might get away with doing.
Quick thought on that, Elise?
If we can't figure out where a candidate stands, he has no right to be on in front of a podium promoting himself. It's just an outrage and a waste of our time and breath.
It says something, though, about some people in the electorate, right, who maybe aren't paying attention and aren't looking at where he stands on the issues, and they walk in and go, oh, Tea Party's kind of interesting. I think I'm going to, you know, put the check next to that.
On the if you can't beat them, join them philosophy.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think I agree with Andrea. This is not going to wash the American people, no matter where you are. They're going to figure this one out. This guy's tried it before. This is not serious. But
Buffalo know who he is.
But it's
He's
interesting as a kind of spoiler tactic. That's what has me interested. Could it be organized?
All right. Thank you so much, ladies. Happy Friday. Great power panel. Elise and Andrea and Judy, good to see y'all.
Good to see
Thank you
you
so much.